Hey y'all. So I am back with another video. I hope your day is going well. So I know that I was supposed to record last week. I had some stuff go down, and I'm not gonna lie, I did not feel motivated to record. But after getting myself together and doing the work, I am here. She is back. So I want to get into it. So 2 weeks ago, I started a series that was called Last Call. Well, last call is going to work if I have the motivation to record by the end of the week. But it may not be the end of the week all the time. It may be some stuff that we need to pop in and, kind of talk about. And this is one of them days. So this series is going to be called What the Hell Did I Scroll On? Because how many times are you online and you run across something that doesn't make any type of sense, but you get so intrigued with it, you got to keep watching it. You got to keep seeing where it go. And if you like me, I love a good rabbit hole, honey. So I will jump down them, go in them, and everything else. But it's a lot of stuff that I've seen that I want to talk about. I'm going to condense it today to just talk about a few things. And let's just go ahead and get into it. So, when I did my last video, we were talking about dating after 40. And I got a story time for y'all that's coming up in another video. Not today, but as it relates to dating after 40 or marriage after 40 or just being with somebody. What it's 2025, like what are we doing? And let me tell you about a couple of things that I've seen that kind of made me be like, what the hell am I watching? So the first thing, I don't know if y'all have heard about David Brinson out of California. Give you a little background about David, honey. David is locked up in the state penitentiary with a life sentence for a triple murder, but they allowed David ass to have conjugal visits. So we have a beautiful 62-year-old Stephanie gets online, meets David, likes David. They develop this relationship and they get married. So Stephanie goes up to the penitentiary for a conjugal visit. So I'm going to assume, because it hasn't been released in the news yet, that she did this on a regular basis, that this was something that she was familiar with doing. But she goes up there for her conjugal visits. And mind you, these are not hour-long conjugal visits. These can be anywhere from 36 to 48 hours. And what's supposed to happen, or what could happen, because it's not mandatory, the guards are supposed to be able to come up at any time. They are supposed to check on you every day, but they should be able to pop up on you at any time. But of course, they want to give you your privacy because you're doing your thing. So they decide to give him his privacy. Well, when it comes time for him to, um, I guess, check in, he calls to the guards and says that he needs some help because Stephanie has passed out. I'm gonna pull up a picture so y'all can see her. So give me a second. But long story short, Stephanie has passed out. She's unresponsive. When they called the paramedics, they said that she was deceased. So, because she's 62, they had the nerve to say that it was because of her age, natural causes, blah, blah, blah. Her kids, her family, they were not buying it. They said that she was, active. She was in good health. There shouldn't have been an issue. So, they do an autopsy. And when they did this autopsy, they found out, get ready, y'all, they found out that this fool choked Stephanie to death. So at this point, she is no longer here with us. He was already on death row. So that wasn't even the issue. But the fact of the matter is, she came to see him, and whatever she did, said, didn't do, didn't say, he decided to take her life. Now, it's really not much else they can do for him because he was already on death row. So what are you going to do? Give him another death row sentence? why is why is he allowed a conjugal visit? If you've already killed three people, the last thing you should be able to do is get your rocks off. I mean, I get it. In jail, it's all kinds of stuff going on. And I'm not telling you what I know, I'm telling you what I see online. So anywhere from them pleasuring themselves or pleasuring each other. I feel like that's the punishment that you should get for putting yourself in this situation. You took a beautiful black woman from this earth for no apparent reason. Let me pull up this picture so you can see what Stephanie looks like. Because she is gorgeous. And it just doesn't make sense. It nothing about it makes sense. She didn't deserve this. And it's sad because she didn't deserve this. So this is a picture of Stephanie. Stephanie look good, y'all. Stephanie looks amazing. And then this is this fool, David, on the side. David couldn't touch me with a long handle stick. I'm sorry, he couldn't. And the people that he killed, or the situation that he was in, supposedly he went in and it was three men. He made them lay down on the ground and then shot them all point blank in the back of the head. But why is he even allowed any privilege like this? Like, it just really doesn't make sense. But hey, that's what they're doing out in California. um if I'm being honest, I feel like Stephanie could have made better choices. I'm pretty sure that there was some man that was interested in her, but I understand. I don't agree, but I understand because the pickings out here is slim. Again, we're gonna have a story time in a couple of weeks, but the pickings out here are slim. Like, men don't want to be men. So I'm assuming she made the decision to jump into something dangerous just for the sake of having somebody. It's never that crucial. Be by yourself. You have lost your life searching for love. And a lot of these men, they not looking to love, they looking to or something else. So, you just got to be mindful. Um, uh, yeah, I can't even touch that one. I want to send condolences out to Stephanie's family because they're having to deal with that. So I never want to speak bad on somebody that's not here anymore. But the fact of the matter is, it was a messed up situation. David asked they need to speed up his death penalty charge, whatever he got going on. They need to speed that shit up because that was just foul. And hopefully, it's not any sick individuals out here that's writing him letters and wants to be with him. And you know how they go because I've seen it with all the killers. You have people that are on the outside looking in. They're fascinated by it. They're sending videos and pictures and letters, and yeah, put that to bed. Anyway, my next thing that I want to talk about kind of segues from relationships. This particular situation is a marriage. So, what if you had a couple that's been married or together? Because I don't know how long they've been married, 20 something years. Husband has not worked outside of washing cars, and the wife works her ass off. And by working, I mean acting stupid in the middle of stores, um, showing your bras in the middle of the store, um, flipping over to show your ass in the middle of the parking lot, putting your kids on blast, putting your husband and his family and your mother on blast. And imagine that the earning potential of this family is a six-figure income. Now, if you know, like I know, six figures is really not what it used to be. A long time ago, it used to be something to brag about, but the way things cost now, six figures is not really anything. So imagine this six-figure family that has a total of nine children and they move beyond their means. They get in a situation either by choice or by force where they are not paying their bills. And because they're not paying their bills, they're about to get evicted. Now, if you scroll up and down your YouTube, your homepage, I'm not even gonna call this person's name because if you know who I'm talking about. This person probably has their own videos, but then you probably got at least thousands of people making videos about this person. So instead of talking about this person, because we all talk about this person, I mean, come on now, she's stupid. She's stupid. I want to talk about the husband. Because how can you, as a grown ass man, sit up here and let your wife, first of all, exploit herself by putting her underclothes and everything, like being out in public showing that? How can you let your wife walk outside without her hair done, looking a hot mess? Because that's a representation of you. And then how can you know that your family is facing eviction and you not give a damn to get your ass up and get a job? How can you charge your wife to babysit your children like they yo goddamn kids? How can you as a man lay in the bed, get up at noon or 12 or 1 or 2 and like not contribute anything to the family other than cooking some damn mustard fried chicken? I mean, we got KFC and Popeyes for that. Nobody needs that. That's not a I can't even talk. That's not anything contributing to the relationship. Like, where are the conversations where you stimulate my mind and I stimulate yours? Where are the days where, we sit down and talk about our growth and, what we need to do for this year and how we can make each other better? Where is the this is my plan for the year, I'm going to do this type of work, and then you can do this type of work? Like, where is the strategy for the relationship? It just seems like a relationship of convenience, and I don't give a damn how old I get. I would never put myself in a situation where I would want to date someone that doesn't care about my well-being. Your wife physically looks ill. Your wife physically wakes up at the butt crack of dawn. I don't know what time she go to sleep. Don't look like she sleep at all. And you okay with it. Um, like at what point do you get sick of the circumstances? And while we talking about circumstances, I saw the video today where you're about to go get your vasectomy after 9 children. Why didn't you do that shit after child number 3, especially with you not working and her not working as well? You've been evicted at least 6 times that I have seen publicly, let alone the stuff that you guys have done beyond behind the scenes. Why now? To me, I feel like it's just for content, because why now? Why put all those children through that? It's one of these things where you're doing a disservice to those babies. They didn't ask to be here, and you constantly have baby after baby after baby after baby. Now, if you are truly getting a vasectomy, hats off to you, because your ass should have did that shit a long time ago. But if that's where you are now in your life and you tired of having children, and you tired of her making you have children, I'm gonna give you yours. You doing your big one right now. So I need you to go ahead, get that snip snip, tell her to leave you alone, and then above all else, get a motherfucking job. Like, why do you have to be so lazy? And then you doing it for the world to see. That's what makes it even worse. It's a lot of women out here that have men that ain't doing nothing and just leeching off of them. But yours is public. And a lot of people come for her, and it is her fault because she's making the choice to keep you around. But brother, I'm looking at you. You have not made yourself to be a stand-up man. And you got too many boys. You have 8 boys. 8 boys, 1 girl. That little girl is looking up to you because she wants a man that's going to be like you. Because what happens is, with girls, your first love is your dad. So when she goes out into this world and she's looking for a mate, she's going to compare them to her dad. Why the hell you want her to date somebody like you? One. Two, you got all those little boys who they see what it's like to be a man by looking at you. They want to emulate you. They want to, be like their daddy when they grow up. Shit, the hell. You should want something better for your kids. If you don't want something better for yourself, you should definitely want something better for your kids. And right now, I'm not seeing it. So I would say this: wake up. It's 2025. You need to wake up. The stuff that you guys are doing in that household, you are traumatizing those kids. It may seem like it's all good and splash with a little bit of Disney right now, but that is not going to last for long. You all really need to do better. I Can't talk about what go on in your household because I don't live in your household. But when you post stuff on the internet, it's free for all of us. And so from what we have seen, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. This is not to bash you or your wife. This is just to let you know people see it. And hopefully you see it. Maybe one day you'll go back and you will look at some of the videos people put out, or even just, self-reflect and see what it is you're doing, because it's not a good look. But I digress. Moving on. I'm gonna change gears just a little bit because this particular issue came up and I kind of thought it was funny initially, and I wasn't gonna talk about it, but I said, let me talk about it. Uh, Keeping up with the Joneses is not always feasible. Sometimes we see things on the outside and we desire what they have. There was a statement that was made that I don't want to use this moving company because they don't look like what my neighbors have. And the neighbors, from what I see, are in a totally different financial bracket than what you are in. Just be happy that someone is coming to move you. And not having a logo or anything may be, well, I won't even go there. The company said that they had a truck to break down, so they rented this truck so they could make sure that they stayed on schedule. They communicated with you, they arrived on time, and they were ready. As far as I'm concerned, they're professional. You could have rented a truck, as you said. But then who would have loaded the stuff on there? That's what you actually need. You need the person that's going to load the stuff and unload the stuff wherever you're going. The truck means shit. The truck is just a vehicle to get you from point A to point B. But you are in the point in your mind right now that you want to keep up with the Joneses, and you don't realize keeping up with the Joneses only makes you mess yourself up. The only person you need to be paying attention to is you, your family, those kids, your husband, or lack thereof. All the other stuff really doesn't make sense. But if that's where you choose to spend your stress, then that's something that you have to deal with. We don't live your life, we just see what you put on the internet. But I felt today that I wanted to give my 2 cents, just because I've been sitting back watching it, I see it. And yeah, at some point you have to be willing to listen to the people and make some of this stuff make sense. All right. So the last thing I wanted to talk about was something I saw. I think it was last week, but it kind of trickled into this week. So if y'all watch The Breakfast Club, I used to love The Breakfast Club. I honestly have not watched it much since Angela Yee left. Not that Angela Yee was all that, but I didn't like the way that they did her. And maybe it's because I'm a woman and I saw, certain things. I didn't like it. Charlemagne had that alleged incident when he was younger that made it to the air. And then when Angela Yee left, I didn't like a whole lot of things that I saw. So Jess Hilarious comes in. I never really followed Jess Hilarious, didn't really know anything about her. Of course, I've seen like shorts and stuff like that, but she wasn't like a go-to person. So when she actually made it to the show, if I'm not mistaken, she did like the guest hosting, and then she ended up coming on, which was fine. Like I said, I'm not a Breakfast Club watcher, so I catch clips from here and there on YouTube, but that's about it. So, if you don't know, recently there was a heated discussion because when Jess went out to have her baby, maternity leave, women, you know what I'm talking about. If you work in a corporate, any type of corporate job, they may have a temp to come in, or if you're a teacher, you may have a sub to come in. There's always going to be somebody to come in to take that spot temporarily while you're gone. So, Jess is gone on maternity leave, and in comes Lauren. Lauren LaRosa is her name. She comes in and she's supposed to be a producer on the show, but temporarily they put her in Jess's position. From what I think happened, and I'm saying think because again, I don't follow it, they also had guest hosts rotating, and then they landed on Lauren. So Lauren comes in, she's very articulate. She was a previous TMZ employee, so she's a real journalist. as where you have Envy and Charlemagne and Jess, they're commentators. So the professionalism of Lauren, the detailed in her research, like everybody is rooting for Lauren. And so much so that when Jess comes back from maternity leave, Lauren is still there. So what was a three people show, a three-person show, is now a four-person show. So, like anybody else, Jess was feeling the heat. Like, why is she still here? And then the internet began to compare them, and she's so much better than Jess. Why is Jess here? Blah 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 blah. So the issue came, Jess, they said, crashed out. She went on live and she addressed it. And while I don't believe she should have went online and addressed it, I am happy that she addressed it because it was bothering her. And all too often when things bother us, we don't say anything, especially women. We try to hold it. And not speaking up is usually what gets us in trouble. So anyway, Jess makes a live and she pretty much gives Lauren all the props, but she says that she acknowledges that she heard that she was being, fizzled out. Lauren is coming in. Lauren is better. And yeah, Lauren is the bomb. She's beautiful. She's well articulate. I like her, but is she taking my job? Keep it honest. The thing that I didn't like is that I feel like Lauren and Jess were pitted against each other. One, but then Charlemagne and Envy, they are some stupid men. I mean, very immature. Always giggling and laughing like little girls about stuff that really doesn't make any sense. And I did not understand why. If you all are a family, why is this even laughable? If anything, you should be consoling Jess and letting her know, like, no, you are part of this show, your family, blah, blah, blah. I just feel like they capitalized on the fact that there was this issue brewing. They actually showed it on the show at least 3 to 4 times within last week. And it was just tacky. And I think that Jess loves her job, so she's willing to stay on her job. But to me, it's a toxic environment. And anybody that has worked in a toxic environment before, you know what they can do to your mental health. You know what they can do to your self esteem. You know what they can do to you just as a person. So she's experiencing everything that we as normal people would experience. She's just in a public setting. So I just really thought it was messed up. Fast forward, yesterday she did an interview with Shannon Sharp, Club Shay Shay. I have not watched the interview yet, but again, I did see the clips. Child, how about Offset is going off on Jess Hilarious because Shannon Sharp asked Jess about Cardi B and Offset going off on each other online, and basically asked Jess for her opinion on it. And Jess just said verbatim, I would not be going back and forth with my baby daddy online. I don't agree with it. Like Offset is mad because Cardi finally moved on. And you got to think about it. How many times has Offset cheated? So Cardi finally got sick of it. She went on by her business, and now you're mad. Well, instead of Offset reaching out to Shannon Sharp, hey, why did you bring my name up? He goes off on Jess Hilarious. And then he proceeds to bring up the issue with Jess and Lauren. So here we go again, bringing this same mess back up. And I just feel like, as Black women, and it's not even Black women, all women, but really Black women, why are we always pitted against each other? Why is this culture that we can't get along, we don't congratulate each other, we don't like each other, when to me that's the furthest from the truth. I believe we're all beautiful. We're all boss women in our own right, but all too often we're told that we don't like each other, or we're jealous of each other, or we don't want to see each other win. And I mean, I got a group of Black women that I know we all want to see each other win. We're all rooting for each other. So I just think that it's just so false, and it bothers me to see stuff like that, because why? Why? This. This feud could have been deaded a long time ago, but instead of deading it, you continue to put fuel on the fire. And it's stupid. It's stupid as hell. But anyway, yeah, I hope that in time, I know they have put it behind them. I hope in time that they can move on to something else because listening to them go back and forth, and I don't mean Jess, I mean Envy and Charlemagne go back and forth, making jokes continuously to bring it up. I feel like you're fanning it. You fanning the flames. You want it to ignite. Put that shit to bed, okay? Be adults, talk about what needs to be talked about, and move on. You don't need dissension between you and the people that you work with. Time out for toxic environments, 2025. So anyway, that is my time for today, baby. I will continue to scroll, and as I continue to scroll, I will continue to come to you and make sure you know what is going on and what I see, because as I am scrolling, I am thinking, what the hell did I scroll up on? Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. If you liked this content, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.